Welcome. Thank you for joining me for another combinations video. In this one, we'll focus on card number 35, the Anchor card in the Lenormand fortune telling deck. We'll get to know the Anchor card very well all by itself. And then I'm going to go through the deck one by one, and we will learn how the Anchor card modifies each of the other cards in the deck in a potential reading. Okay, so before we get started, kudos to Alexander Musrik for writing this, The Art of Lenormand Reading. It's a really good resource. It's the one I use for these videos. All right, let's get going. Card number 35, the Anchor. You'll see at the top of the card, the playing card insert is the 9 of Spades. The keywords for this card are security, steadiness, and goals. Longevity pops to mind as well. Alexander Musrik writes about this card. He says the card denotes that you are being tied securely to a place or a goal. It is also an indication that you are finally reaching a safe harbor and a milestone. The general message of this card is you can do it. It's a very positive card. It's a yes card. The body part that this card represents would be pelvis and hips. And I'm going to remember that by looking at the actual anchor in the card. The anchor kind of would loosely look like a pelvic bone, right? So pelvis and hips for the body part. Timing of this card is long-term, years potentially. Obviously the anchor is, steadfast. It holds, its longevity, its security, it's that sort of thing. So easy to remember the timing of this would be long-term. The influence of this card is positive. The nuance is time. Archangel associated with this card is Michael. The planet is Saturn. The zodiac sign is Capricorn. If you see this card in a love reading for a single person, the message would be that a sincere relationship starts. You have a sense of security about it. If this card shows up in a love reading for somebody who's in a relationship, the message is the love you share keeps on growing stronger. Your destinies are tied together. In a health reading, the message would be that you're strong and stable. Health is good. In a money reading, the message is that what you have grows. It's a secure and stable material situation. In a work reading, this is hard work paying off. And then the special power of this card, the anchor, like a mermaid, has the power to go deep inside of things, both conscious and unconscious. That's the special power. That's actually a new one for me. That's something I just learned just now. So because I'd never read that part before. The anchor, like a mermaid, has the power to go deep inside of things, both conscious and unconscious. All right. That's very nice. So the anchor is a very, very positive card. Let's see how it modifies all the other cards in the deck. So, beginning with the Rider. The Rider and the Anchor represent a safe visit from somebody or new goals. Safe visit or new goals. The Anchor card with the Clover, this is a long-term fortune or just good fortune in general. So long-term fortune, good fortune in general. The Clover is lucky, right? In this case, it represents fortune. The Anchor with the Ship. This is reaching an important milestone. This is some kind of achievement. So a goal has been reached. I mean, you think of, a ship uses an anchor when it's in port, right? So the goal, the destination has been reached. That's an easy reading to figure out. Reaching an important milestone. The Anchor with the House. This is a stable family, a secure family. This just represents security. Stable and secure family just represents security in general. The Anchor with the Tree. This is strong health, stable health, or this could represent recovery. So positive, regardless of how you read this in terms of health. Strong health, stable health, or you're recovering. It's recovery. The anchor with the clouds, this is an uncertain foundation. There's a foundation that's been set, but it's not certain. So maybe it could be considered a warning. This is a shaky foundation, or this could be confusing goals. If the anchor is goals reached, accomplishments, then this is uncertain goals. Like, maybe this isn't where we need to go here. So if the clouds show up next to the anchor, that could be considered a warning, I think. The anchor with the snake, this is trouble. This is not secure, or this is a dangerous goal. So just like the clouds, the snake would be a warning in this case, next to the anchor. So you've got a goal, or you've got some milestone that you're looking to reach, but the snake is like, whoops, let's see here, this might not work out, so you better maybe rethink some things. So consider that a warning as well. So the snake in the clouds would be a warning next to the anchor. If you see the anchor next to the coffin, this is an end to security. Maybe something happened and the secure situation has ended. Or this is a danger. Again, it's a warning. Or this could be lack of support. So you've put down your anchor, you've reached your goal, but you don't have any support there. You might not stay there after all. It feels like another warning to me, just like the clouds and the snake. The anchor next to the bouquet, this is long-term happiness. This is a very positive situation. Long-term happiness and a very positive situation. That's a nice card to have after those three that we just had. The snake, the clouds, and the coffin. So this is long-term happiness, a very positive situation. The anchor with the scythe. This is a sudden change. The scythe can represent that all by itself, but if you have it next to the anchor, maybe you've had a really stable situation. The scythe is next to it. It's like all of a sudden, whoops, not stable anymore. So this is a sudden change. This is the end of stability. But sometimes we need change to move on to the next thing. And it's very rarely comfortable, in my opinion anyway. Change is very rarely comfortable. So, it's not necessarily bad news. Change isn't bad just because you're changing a stable situation. Sometimes a stable situation isn't the best situation. If you have the anchor next to the whip, broom, whatever you want to call this card, there's a broom and a whip on this one. Next to the whip, this is a long-lasting conflict. This could be an addiction. So a long-lasting conflict, an addiction that you just can't shake. Or this is a pattern that is settled. This is a pattern that is going to continue. A habit sort of thing. So this is a long-term something, whatever's happening with the whip, because it's an action card, whatever's happening is going to happen for a long time, or it has been happening for a long time. The anchor card with the birds. This is a safe conversation. This could be a very long conversation. Or this could be a couple, if you're representing the birds as two people. This could be a couple that's in a long-term relationship. So a very safe conversation, a lengthy discussion, or this is representing a couple who's in a long-term relationship. If you have the anchor next to the child, this is a new goal. This is a child who is safe. Or it's a small goal. So new goal, new beginnings. The child represents new beginnings. So this could be a new goal. Or this could be a child who is safe. Or if they're using the child as a adjective, it's small. So this could just be a small goal. Maybe today I want to clean my house. That would be a small goal. And I did. I did clean my house today. Feels good. The anchor next to the fox. This is a long-term job. The fox represents work sometimes, usually work that's kind of a creative way of making money, side job, home job, something like that. But this is a long-term job. This is a job with objectives, a job that has goals in mind. Maybe it's just a temporary job that once you reach your goal, you're done. Or this is a secure position. Maybe it is a side job, but it's a side job that's going to last. So this is a secure position. if you have the anchor next to the bear, this is powerful. This is a big goal. Or this is strong determination. So powerful. You kind of feel that when you look at these two cards. This is powerful, powerful pairing. They're both big, strong, heavy, you know, secure, not going anywhere. So big goal, strong determination. If you have the anchor next to the stars, this is an achievement, achieving your goals. Stars can represent recognition, right? So maybe you're being recognized for your achievements. This could just be working on your dreams, lifelong dreams. You know, the stars can represent the dream world, and again, using the anchor for a time, a length of time. This is lifelong goals, lifelong dreams. The anchor in combination with the stork, this is steady change. The stork represents change and movement. This could be steady change, long-term change. Change is going to take a while. This could be settling. It says settling elsewhere. Maybe this is like the goal. The anchor represents stability, right? But then the stork represents change. Oops, my camera just, there it goes. Okay, just went blurry. This could just mean like you've been stable, but now there's change upcoming. So we're uprooting, settling elsewhere. This is positive change. The stork is a positive change card. So this is positive change. The anchor with the dog. This is a safe friend. This is somebody you can trust. This is a strong friendship, or it's somebody who's been a lifelong friend. Somebody who's safe, you can trust them. Strong friendship, lifelong friendship. The anchor with the tower. This is a long life. This could be a high goal, you know, a lofty goal. The tower is a tall building, like it's a lofty goal. It could be a high perspective. So with the tower, I would say, with the anchor in the tower, I would say that this is, you know, kind of up for interpretation here, however this falls in your reading, because long life, you know, yeah, okay, so there's longevity. I'm not sure where the life thing comes in. I'm not sure why that would be with the tower. High goal, I can see that. You know, tower is tall, so, and the anchor represents a goal. And then high perspective, you know, I would look at maybe the tower by itself as a high perspective. I'm not sure how that goes with the anchor. But anyway, use it however you like. I might look at this too as the anchor represents long term, right? And the tower could represent, you know, being by yourself. This could be a long term, you know, solitary sort of situation. You're by yourself for a while, doing something on your own. Nothing wrong with that. The anchor with the garden, this is a group that is safe. So the garden represents community, can represent a group of people. So this is a group that is safe. This could represent working with the public, maybe goals that have to do with public, doing something in the public. The anchor with the mountain, this is going nowhere. So the anchor doesn't go anywhere, right? And the mountain isn't going anywhere. The mountain is actually representing a block. So the anchor and the mountain represent going nowhere. This is being stuck. This is a huge obstacle. So these two together doesn't look good. Going nowhere, being stuck, and a huge obstacle. The anchor with the crossroads. This is choosing security. So when you're at the crossroads, you're making a decision, right? So if you're choosing, look at one of the roads goes right to the anchor. So choosing security. This could be a permanent decision. You've made up your mind and that it's going to stick for a while. So this is a permanent decision. The anchor with the mice. This is a stressful situation. This is foundations coming unraveled. So the mice represent anxiety. They represent an eating away, a loss sometimes. So if they're next to the anchor, this could represent that you feel like your security is not secure anymore. You know, maybe there's something happening that's kind of uprooting this security. Stressful situation. This could be long-term anxiety as well. You know, I suffered with anxiety for a good portion of my adult life, so I would describe that as long-term anxiety. It wouldn't come up in my reading now for myself because I've figured out where that anxiety came from, but yeah, years, decades I suffered with anxiety. So that could be what that is if it comes up in a reading. The anchor with the heart. This is a very strong feeling. This is being faithful. This is a profound love. This is a love that's not going anywhere. This is a love with a very strong foundation. Maybe you built a really strong friendship first and then fell in love. So there's history behind this love. It's not going anywhere. You have deep respect. The anchor with the ring. This is a solid marriage, a long marriage, a solid commitment. This could also represent a safe contract, as the ring can represent contracts, right, and agreements. So this could be a secure contract. If you're unsure, like if you're doing a reading and someone says, "Oh, I'm not sure if I should sign this paperwork for this, you know, this house I want to buy," and this comes up, you could say, "Well, it looks like it's a good, trustworthy contract to me, good, solid contract." That would be a positive yes answer, in my opinion. The anchor with the book. This is research. I think the book all by itself can represent research, but maybe it's long-term research. Maybe it's lifelong learning. This is looking deeper into something. Maybe you've jumped down a rabbit hole and you're digging deeper and deeper. There's a lot of rabbit holes to jump down into these days. I've jumped into a few myself. Certainly interesting, and it certainly is life-changing when you figure things out, isn't it? So this is lifelong research, looking deeper. This is investigating. This is hard study. So basically just referencing a certain type of dedication to learning. The anchor with the letter. This is a work document. If you're using the anchor to represent work, this could be a work document. This says it could be an SOS. So this could be a message requesting help, which makes sense because you think of message in a bottle and someone's stranded on an island. They're saying an SOS, so you could use the anchor to reference like, oh yeah, this is like a literal seaside SOS. Or this could represent a paperweight. I mean, that's pretty mundane all by itself right there, right? Paperweight. I'm not sure why you would ask a question about a paperweight in a reading, but yeah, I suppose it could represent a paperweight. A heavy document. This could represent a heavy message coming in. Whatever the message is, it has some weight to it. Like whatever the message is, it's a life-changing message. So a heavy message. If you have the anchor with the man or the woman, this is somebody who is secure, somebody who's stable, they're strong, they're determined, they're a hard worker. Loyal comes to mind. Somebody who will stand by you through the tough times, you know, that sort of thing. The anchor with the lilies. Now, these are both long-term cards. This could represent retirement. If you're using the anchor as like a job sort of reference. So this could be retirement, as the lilies represent the older generation. A lot of times an older man. This is a loyalty. This represents loyalty. This is somebody you can trust. If you're using this to represent a person, and again, the King of Spades is on the lilies card. It can represent an older gentleman. This is somebody you can trust. If you're asking a timing question and these two cards come up, this is long-term. They both represent longevity, something long-term. The anchor with the sun. This is a successful job. This is attaining your goals. And this is protection. There's nothing bad about this combination right here. This is security, safety, reaching the goals, reaching the finish line in a positive way. The sun is positivity. That's a good combination right there. The anchor with the moon. This is a strong insight. The moon is the subconscious. It's your fantasy world, it's your dream world, it's your emotions. So this could be a strong insight. One of Alexander Misrick's things says a hard worker. I'm not really sure I would come up with a hard worker with this combination. I'm not really even sure where that comes in, but if that's something you feel like you can use, then that's certainly an option. Anything is an option when you're doing a reading, especially if you start doing readings intuitively, right? You stop using the reference books and you stop looking at what the meanings are on your own, or meanings are like you stop looking online or in books and you start reading things intuitively. With this combination, the anchor and the moon, I would not come up with hard worker. It just wouldn't pop into my head. This could be an established reputation. So the moon card can also represent recognition, creativity. So this could be somebody who's been established and somebody who's recognized for their, I guess, for whatever it is that they do, their creativity, their work, whatever. The anchor with the key, this is a successful achievement. This is going to be similar to the Sun card. This is successful achievement. This is a significant goal. So yeah, it's kind of the same as the Sun card. Whatever, this combination is extremely positive. You can't go wrong with this combination. You've succeeded. You've reached your goal. It's this huge success. The anchor with the fish card, this is financial security, or it is a secure transaction. The fish can represent money, it can represent abundance, it can represent money transactions. So whatever this is, the anchor card modifies that it is successful and it is secure. It's a yes answer for whatever the money question is. And then the last card, the anchor with the cross. This is long-term worry, long-term burdens, deep pain. This doesn't appear to be a good combination if you're using the cross card to represent burdens or pain. This is long-term pain. Maybe someone's suffering from a long-term illness, and this is just something that's not going to go away. You could use the cross card as a divine card, and a lot of times I do. Not because I'm religious like the card, I don't use the cross as a religious symbol in my life. That's not something I do, but the cross is well known as a religious symbol. And so sometimes I use this to represent divinity. So this could be just a long-term connection to whatever your spirit connection is. It could represent a long-term connection to the divine, or a secure connection to the divine. Maybe you're receiving messages and this comes up in a reading, and the message might be, yeah, these are messages you can rely on. This is your spirit guides coming in. This is source coming in. So that could be a positive way to read the anchor card with the cross card. All right, and that's that. That's the anchor card. I am moving on to the very last card, the cross card that we just looked at. We're going to finish that video, and then I'm going to be done with this series. And I'm so glad, because literally this has taken me almost 2 years to finish this series. I just haven't been that dedicated to finishing it. It's been an off and on thing, but I am happy to be wrapping it up, because I do like to finish things that I started. And I guess the anchor card is a good card to be ending this series on, because it's a long-term goal completed. So synchronicity right there. You witnessed it. Anyway, all right. Well, I appreciate you coming by. I appreciate you stopping and watching the video. I do hope that it helped you, and that you learned something. Come back and see my last video. It's going to be the cross card, and then we'll be done. And if you have any suggestions on maybe what I should concentrate on next, I can't promise it'll happen soon, but yeah, I might work on something in the future. I don't know what it is yet. All right, thanks again. We'll see you next time.